Little Women, starring Emma Watson, rated PG. No. I didn't see Little Women. I'm just messing with you. I saw 1917, written and directed by Sam Mendes, who gave us all the recent James Bond movies, American Beauty. This guy's a pro. He makes great movies, and this seems to be a passion project for him because at the end there's a dedication to his great-grandfather that served in World War I, and 1917 is about World War I. And no man's land and that horrific battle that took place between the Allies and the Germans. This movie is rated R, of course, you know why, and it's 2 hours, and it's perfect time and perfectly paced. Slows down a little bit right before the end, but the movie is so tense that you kind of need to take that break. It's very intense, a very powerful movie. Thomas Newman gives us the music, and the score is very noticeable here and very powerful. I liked the score a lot. Yeah, the movie had me on the edge of my seat, every cliche you can use for sure. I didn't bite my nails. Normally I do. I think it's so tense that I didn't bite my nails. So it was really, really good. So the movie starts really quick right away. Dean Charles Chapman plays Corporal Blake. And you know him. He's like Cersei's kid on Game of Thrones. He's Tormund, right? I think, spoiler alert, he dies in Game of Thrones. So Corporal Blake, and then we have George McKay playing Corporal Schofield. So Corporals Schofield and Blake. So they get a mission to they have to deliver a letter. They're like over here, and they have to deliver a letter all the way over here to this other general because these guys in the morning are going to attack the Germans because the Germans retreated, but it's a strategic retreat, and it's actually a trap. So when these British troops go and think they're chasing and eradicating the Germans are waiting for them back here, and they're going to annihilate everybody. So they got to hand the orders to this general to tell him, don't do it, stop. And the reason they pick Corporal Blake is because he has a brother that's in the platoon, or, that's bigger than a platoon, in the army over here, about to charge. So they got to deliver, they got to cross the no man's land, and they got to cross hell to get this letter, to get these orders. And there's only two of them because the general says, the two of you are better than a bigger group because you can move faster or something. I don't know. They explain that. And the general, I believe, was Colin Firth. So, so they carry the letter across, and along the way, they might bump into Sinestro, Mark Strong, and maybe Doctor Strange, Mr. Cumberbatch, But, and one thing about this movie, it's I knew going in that it's supposed to be like one shot. Not real one shot, but a simulated one shot, always with our characters, never breaking away or off our characters. And that's true. The camera does stay with our heroes along the journey. And but the movie doesn't take place over 2 hours. They sort of cheat it, and it takes place over the day, the night, and then the next morning. So several hours. So they do cheat it a little bit. And but yeah, it's beautiful how the camera stays with our heroes. So I think one of the great things about this film is the environment, and the environment is its own character here. Again, you have no man's land. That's definitely going to be like soaked mud, flies, rats, bodies. You're going to get that, and that's very well done. But also, there were some scenery of like towns at night. So you have a French village. It's totally bombarded. It's just rubble basically. And it's at night. And how they light it is, I guess the Germans or someone's shooting flares up. And the way the flares come down and the light moves, the shadows move in the city. So it's cool. There's this one wide shot of the city that just the light's changing, and it's like it's living, and it's just, I've never seen anything like that. It was super cool. So you can go from scenes like that, or you can go to just the beautiful fields with cherry trees that are shot equally as well. Just beautiful environment. Horrible, but beautiful, if that makes any sense. So this movie is filled with tension. I thought Underwater had some tension. So no spoilers here. I'm just going to keep things real general. But there's a moment in this movie I did jump out of my seat. And I can't remember any time I did that in the movie. I jumped out of my seat. They show you something. You're like, that sucks. And then they show you something again. You're like, oh. And before your brain processes, or just as your brain is processing what's about to happen, the thing happens, and I jumped out of my seat. There's also another scene where I gasped. Something very unexpected happens. So this movie, and the ending, I got chills at the very ending. It was just very, very powerful. Good stuff. the cinematography. I always say, oh, this movie's got great cinematography, but this movie's got great cinematography. Like I already explained about the village and the shadows. So I can share this. So our heroes have to cross this sort of pond. They don't want to go in the pond because it's all diseased and bodies and stuff. And the movie's not always, giving you diseased bodies. So like I said, there's cherry trees and pretty fields and rivers too. But they have to cross this pond. So they don't go in the pond. They go around the pond on the bank. But I liked the camera did this a lot. The camera then went where your eyes are, went in the pond and across the pond to shoot our heroes, but never disturbed the pond. And as the camera's doing that, I am going, how the hell did they do that? Because you're in an environment of mud, water, and I guess they've got, the camera on like a crane, but it's got to be one hell of a crane. It's really well done. It's really cool. And again, it's another technique to really put us with the heroes and the hell they're going through. I also thought this is good commentary on people. One thing I noticed, there's no, the dialogue is great, but nothing that I can recall. Well, there's a few things I can recall, but I liked how the people are rude. So as our heroes are walking in the trench the wrong way, and the soldiers are bumping them, the allies, and they're like, watch where you're going the wrong way, and they keep getting yelled at, and they don't have time. Like, they just got this important mission, and time is of the essence. They can't dilly-daddle. They got to get to these guys in the morning, or these guys are going to charge and die. And as everybody bumps them and insults them, like, they try to spit out, I got orders from the general, that's why I'm going the wrong way. It was like a typical day where you're driving and people are being rude to you, and no one understands what you're doing, or this is a very important mission, but just people on a day-to-day level can be just rude, because they don't. Yeah, it's just the reaction. They're in a stressful situation. They think you're going the wrong way. I think they call them an idiot or something, but they have no idea what's going on. That they have a very, very important mission. You should get out of their way. At the same time, people, when asked to do something, or when they have an opportunity to do something in a tough situation, usually rise up. At least we like to think so. They can rise up to meet the challenge. And there's a scene where, the people that maybe don't have a stake in the game here do take a moment to do the right thing and to help out, and together they can get something done. So I just thought that was kind of like neat, the commentary on humanity. I got here. The ending gave me chills for sure. I mean, we've seen movies, Saving Private Ryan and things like this, but this is really something different. So there's not a lot of there's no gunfights here. They're not pinned down and really shooting back. It's not really like a typical war movie where they're killing bad guys. It's more like Lord of the Rings, the end of Lord of the Rings. You got Frodo with the ring, and he's got to put the ring in the mountain. More toward the end of that movie, you're just trying to survive. You're just trying to play off what's hitting you. That's more of this movie, and I really, really loved it. Yeah. So if you're into war movies at all, I think you're going to love it. If you're into movies about the triumph of the human spirit, I think you're going to love this movie. If you don't like to see anything about war, then you might not want to see this movie. This movie's an A+. I absolutely love this movie. It's great. They're talking Oscars. Sure, best movie, best picture. It's a hell of a movie. I loved it. Not for the young people. It's rated R, but, it's a good movie. All right. Well, everybody, have a great week, a great start to your week, and I'll talk to you soon. And as always, I will see you on the new.